I've had so many requests to check out this game over the past few days, and after taking a look at it, I don't know how to feel. A part of me is like, this game is too good to be true, but another part of me is like, I wish I never saw it because it doesn't come out for another year or so. So this game won't be releasing until 2018, so if you're the kind of person who doesn't like hearing about shit that won't be here for another year or so, well, this is where you exit the video. However, if you're interested in just finding out about a new game, then stick around. This is also not a MMORPG, but it may have some multiplayer functions, so if that's cool with you, then it's cool with you. So this game is called Code Vein, and all these headlines are coming up saying Dark Souls publisher is releasing a new vampire RPG, or Dark Souls publisher releases a new Souls-like game. After reading about the game, it definitely has some Souls-like features, but it's also being developed by Bandai, who has made God Eater, and God Eater is a game and it's also an anime. The game plays much like a Monster Hunter game, so if you guys have played Monster Hunter, then you pretty much know what God Eater is like, except it has a few different features and it's more anime-like. Personally, I don't really like the God Eater games. I feel that they're not that complex, like they're very basic. They look cool, but when it comes to the combat, it's lacking. So Code Vein is a vampire game of sorts where you feast on the blood of enemies in a massive interconnected world. The third-person action RPG is scheduled to launch on major home consoles. Now this basically means it's going to be for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. There's no word on a PC version, but I do believe it will release on PC if they continue to do what Bandai has done in the past. God Eater was released on PS4, God Eater came out on PC, and also since the Nintendo Switch is here now, we might see it on that console as well. So in Code Vein, you play as a revenant in a world full of vicious enemies and monstrous bosses. This teaser trailer is made with a very unique art style, and in the end of the trailer you can see the person taking on this big ass demon. So we already know this game is going to have some super badass bosses, most likely demonic creatures, and that's right up my alley. Now here's the backstory. In the not too distant future, a mysterious disaster has brought collapse to the world as we know it. Towering skyscrapers, once symbols of prosperity, are now lifeless graves of humanity's past, pierced by the thorns of judgment. At the center of the destruction lies a hidden society of revenants called Vein. This final stronghold is where the remaining few fight to survive, blessed with gifts of power in exchange for their memories and a thirst for blood. Given to the bloodlust fully and risk becoming one of the lost. Fiendish ghouls devoid of any remaining humanity. So as I said, some of the headlines talk about this game being a vampire RPG, and the revenants are vampires. You suck the blood, you drain the blood of enemies. Players can change their form to increase their strength, weaken enemies, and utilize new weapon abilities with overpowered attacks. Utilizing the vast array of weaponry along with each character's gift, players can adapt and strategize to a variety of battle conditions that suit their playstyles. Now this sounds awesome. At the same time, it kind of makes me think, will we be playing pre-made characters? Because if this game lacks in character customization, that's going to be a big boner killer for me, and I really hope it doesn't. But so far from what we see, this game looks to be on track. It looks like a damn good game, but there's so many things that can go wrong and make this game a piece of shit. So it's slightly being compared to God Eater and Dark Souls. The way it looks to me, it honestly looks as if God Eater and Bloodborne had a baby. That doesn't bother me at all. But because Bandai made God Eater and they're making this game, I really hope it's not a copy pasta. One of the biggest features of Code Vein is the existence of a buddy. So when exploring Vein, you can take alongside a single buddy. The thing is though, they say a buddy in quotation marks. I've seen different types of buddy systems. We have the Dark Souls-like system where you can summon random players from around the world to help you, and we also have the Dragon's Dogma-like system where you thought you were going to be able to play with your friends, but instead you play with characters created by your friends, which works, but it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same as playing with an actual player, of course. I'm really hoping that you do get to play with actual people, because being able to share the experience with a friend will definitely be amazing. But they're saying you can only share the experience with one other person. So that kind of sucks, but it also will make the game that much more difficult. They're going to have a ton of regions in this game, and you can see from these screenshots that a lot of the areas look very different, which I definitely like, because I don't want to play through a game with just one theme. Everything's just dark, everything's just red. Instead, they mix it up a bit. So different environments to explore, amazing. But I'm wondering if it's going to be instance, or will this game be open world? So after explaining the different areas you'll see in this game, they say there will even be dark areas full of dangers. Pay attention for the lost lurking in the darkness of these areas while relying on the little amount of light you have available. So they said earlier in this article that if you don't drain enough blood, you can lose your humanity and become a Lost. So will we see other players Lost walking around this world, or are Lost just going to be regular enemies in the game as well? They also say that having a buddy enables you to use tactics such as setting a decoy. This definitely makes me think that it won't have multiplayer, or at least the buddy system won't be the multiplayer part of this game. You know, if you're just able to use your friend, they might say, you know, having your friend or having your buddy could be a decoy for you, but instead they say it enables you to use a tactic such as setting a decoy. So it definitely sounds like a feature placed in the game specifically for using a buddy, which makes it sound like it's not an actual player. Damn it. Revenants will have access to a variety of weapon types. These are mainly close combat weapons such as great swords and one-handed swords, but since the attack action is different depending on the type of weapon, you can choose a weapon that fits your playstyle. Blood veils are Revenant original equipment that suck up the blood of the lost. It usually takes on the form of clothing, and although it has aspects of armor, it has an exclusive mechanism that appears during blood sucking. So through these screenshots, I'm assuming that these are the blood veils, and it makes your character look so demonic. Without the mask on, the characters look, you know, pretty chill, but with that mask on, it's like they're about to fuck some shit up. The costume design in this game is super sexy. I really like it. And the fact that your gear is pretty much how you suck the blood from the enemies and incorporate that into gear in the first place, that's badass. The blood of the lost obtained through the blood-sucking mechanism of Blood Veil is transported into the user's mouth through a pipe in the equipment. There are several types of blood veils, and you'll be able to play out a variety of tactics by combining them with your weapons. Several types of weapons, several types of blood veils. There's going to be a ton of combinations in this game. Another reason why I'm excited. One kind of blood veil forms sinister claws shaped like gauntlets on the user's right hand. It has short reach but can suck up blood fast in close combat. Once the blood veil develops on the right hand, the user's mask also starts to transform, covering half of their face with a blood-sucking mask. By piercing your right hand into the enemy, you can suck up their blood. The method of blood sucking is unknown for this type of blood veil, but it may be there as a mechanism in the palm or arm. They get really descriptive with this shit. In another screenshot, you can see that this girl's blood veil is actually a tail, and as she's about to pierce the enemy, you can see that her mask changes shape and the eyes turn red. Also, while draining blood from enemies, you can do different things with it. It's called tempered blood. So with this tempered blood feature, you can strengthen yourself, weaken enemies, or you can use it for an attack. So one of the examples of tempered blood is as follows. A large amount of blood shoots out of the ground like pillars and attacks the enemy. This is an AoE and can be used to defeat several enemies. Now, most of the weapons that Revenants use are usually for close combat, but because of this type of technique, you can use things like this to attack enemies from a distance. And in this article, it is confirmed that development on Code Vein is currently 35% complete, and this game will be released worldwide, so it is confirmed to come to the West and other regions besides Japan. So looking at these screenshots, hearing about the backstory and the different features that this game offers, holy shit, it's definitely my kind of game. I'm super excited for it. However, I have to hold that excitement back just a little bit because I know it's only 35% complete and they can definitely ruin this. They mentioned something about different characters and their playstyles, but I'm hoping that they will allow you to make your own character, and because you can switch weapons and blood veils, it seems that they will be allowing you to form your own playstyle. But it's not 100% confirmed that character customization will be a thing, so it definitely is one of my worries. I love a game that switches it up and keeps it interesting. Like I said earlier, following one theme just gets really dull, it gets really boring, but as you can see in these screenshots, they have so many different areas. But that also makes me think this game might be instanced even more because other hunting like games do this. They have these super unique areas, but it loses its attraction when it's all just an instance. So like I said, if you hang out in a small hub and you choose to go to a snow area, or you choose to go to a lava area, and these areas are like 5 feet wide, right, and you just fight a boss, it's not that special. However, if this game is going to be open world or semi-open world, to where the world is huge and you have to travel from place to place, but you know, of course, some games have to load you in. I don't mind that, but I pray that it's not a hub game. I pray that it's not your typical hunting-like game, and I really hope that multiplayer will be a thing. The buddy system sounds cool, but it definitely sounds like it's not going to involve an actual player. So please, Bandai, add some type of multiplayer functionality in this game, and I will love you. Let me know what you guys think about this game. If you like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, God Eater, Monster Hunter, and you're a weeaboo, this game was made for you. How could you not be excited? So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you soon, friends.